The infinite space and distance from which, however far we go, but still remains ahead of us, by nothing is diminished. The infinite time, whatever we think of where it comes or goes, nothing of it has yet passed, and evermore it flows. There is no end and no beginning, their edge beyond conception. All matter comes from infinite past and leads to endless infinite. A permanent transformation of matter, not one way, but going both from small to big and big to small alike. A chaos of particles there was, from unknown horizons coming, seemingly without a purpose, yet more numerous becoming. Particles impossibly small, ants of the infinite, fast from the endlessness arriving, they ran, collided, hit. A first happening, divine, of great matter congealing, where many nothings gathered and, Big Bang, made everything. The same the universe remained, yet now with stars it's filled. Among them some hard to explain, black holes their names are billed. The universe now seemed bigger, an infinite of shadow and light, being in continuous motion, and yet in its patterns tight. The stars that the world are watching, symbols of such waste of light, regularly appear, and glowing herald what's to come. The black holes are at fault for keeping so much energy trapped, the light in a prison vault, no way out yet mapped. The dual complementary entities, from deep eternity arriving, unlike they were, unlike they'll be, all permanently changing. Nature drew its newest lines, the infinite kept reconfiguring, time opened new horizons while, in code, someone was recording. The universe, its structure changing, ever new equilibriums trying, and the horizons ceaselessly shifting, those newly appeared instantly vanishing. A new synthesis phase appeared at other speeds and temperatures, particles closing in and merging formed small bodies, then larger figures. Universal attraction at work, matter is slowly congealing, against a pull of randomness, giving time a new beginning. New celestial bodies were forming, as our thoughts now tell us, small or big as each one was managing, and then the earth appeared. And time flew, and flew some more, matter gathered and dissolved, new forms lifeless rose to fore, these too lived and resorbed. Dead nature is not a body, just parts with energy and motion, that collide and break apart, since matter feels no pain. Another divine happening. In water, heat, light and substances, from particles constantly changing, thus gathered, life appears. But these life drops, too, as they are born and grow and fade, always new ones rise in their stead, their fight is not in vain. Life, something with no precedent, to parts with pain and feeling, collisions still without an end no longer are appealing. They gather, multiply, and more, to what is theirs now mindful, a lifestyle they get, acquiring what to their code's growth is now helpful. Selecting what's good and possible is hard, even for science. Time past sifted the incredible, and the first being appeared. The genetic code assembled helped them then to propagate. To fight matter thus enabled, beings began to proliferate. Matter had no intelligence, and life until then neither. Which meant, what could it mean then? What you do when you flounder. Life forms many other beings appeared and will appear, now by their own capacities, will they live, not disappear? Some will self-select already, granting their species consistency. They develop, they know how, the idea and yearning for intelligence. Memorizing occurrences repeated, and some good deeds that have happened, correlating with everything else, marks all that has been learned. Everything, strung together, grew and gathered and then led to the selection that the species could protect. all and everything alive, in this great a desert, to preserve its life it keeps feeling, holding, learning. The essential difference of the living from mere matter, not from its substance does arise, but from intelligence comes. Matter exists as it is, without intelligence. No new matter will appear, nor will this ever disappear. The winds of the universe blow it and divide it, the forces of attraction, though, somewhere else they gather it. Living matter, so it seems, God desired it to be, with a key difference of essence coming from intelligence. The living part that feels the mind's inception small, selecting from the many, memorizes it all. Which means it lives, can grow and choose, and from each new situation derive more information. Intelligence, then, is alive, and grows with information, and it is to experience tied, gathering feeling and selection. Once appeared, intelligence worked. You're strong not just by fighting, there are other ways to raise your might, with as many others uniting. New lifestyles then appeared again for those solitary beings, as they saw their lives increased by gathering, not spreading. And so society appeared, and lonely beings organized, their wish increasingly more clear to be together in council. To defend themselves they first met up, protecting each other they united, together in standing met better in hunt, they liked that and never parted. Their shelters building they saw increase as everyone brought out their best, working together warmed up their hearts, and sleeping together their bodies. The desire to feed still stood between them as everyone fought for themselves, and as they could not live without it, all still needed sharp minds and bodies. Above earth, below it, in air, water, wherever, much closer beings grew, putting their wishes together. Any being in its territory from paradise to purgatory, even those tormented infernally, fight and yearn for life eternally. From back then, from the beginning, labor, strife were not desired. Though all tried what they could fathom, very few success acquired. From amongst these beings, some, changing, guided by their wishes, proved themselves of higher might, in effort, brilliance, and will. Though at first in trees he lived, one such being, human called, a much easier life he willed, that wouldn't tire him or hurt. The weapons and tools he invented, this new being made different from all other primate animals, and then from trees he could descend. He began to think some more. Other beings feared no longer. He managed even to organize better to defend and hunt. Nothing in his path resisted. Working, hunting, food now plenty, all the world ahead lay open, as his pack now tribe became. Many things beyond his grasp still, though by that not bothered much, while he still had food to eat and could still defend himself. Until then, the universe seemed to be just matter. Now the right time had perhaps arrived for something else. Misfortunes kept appearing, explanations not so much. Humans thought, could it be that someone above them willed it such? As man floated in his thoughts to the universe's thought, into the endlessness of thought, in dreams the idea of God he caught. They felt him, and though to see him they could not, their thoughts obeyed him. Still, for them a mystery he was, though no doubt they had of him. God is light, just like a wave that can everywhere reach, and where he shows his presence he brings faith through interference. The power that he sends to us by way of mind it comes, not by substance is transmitted, but by resonance multiplied. The universe and God together a way they found, in support of man to come, and toward him light they poured. Light, symbol of harmony between universe and God, a support eternally for man and everyone around. Man, subject to divine will, could not grasp where light came from, its deep structure unknown still, matter and wave at once. the heavens wishing to redeem him, the holy light again in him to foster, once in a while emerged in new birth, and so appeared the notion of Easter. He who believed in the light and its divine essence could have a life illuminated, to his tribe bringing light. Man felt unfinished, his life missing something, so to God he went asking for help looking somehow. God granted him a favor for the wish he had brought forth, and in exchange a sacrifice, from him one of his ribs. At God's request, then, man a rib surrendered, and, as time passed, in the end, a wife he thus received. In time, he learned to think before from God requesting, for he might well receive something he wasn't desiring. The keystone of the world, based on matter, time, and idea, on earth in time it proved to be the relation of woman and man. On the face of the earth, blown by the wind, almost despite his own thoughts, rose man and his kin. Up high in heaven's light, below the depths of hell, between them man's dilemma. What's best for him? Do tell. Lord, if in you I believe, and then after tomorrow I thrive, a worry I still have. Today and tomorrow, what life? Being the only learned ones, humans want themselves apart, among others, many beings, their own wishes to impart. All standing in one place, unrolling life's big game, each of them in his own space, seeking earth-wide fame. A peacock boasting with its feathers, a swan batting eyelashes, and next a nightingale endeavors to flaunt bright color flashes. Flowers of themselves proud, wilting all too early, and their lives, oh what a strain, seek immortality. Some crows right next to them, amidst people and flowers, hop hop skipping all around, no rush over the meadows. Eternity means zilch to them, and heaven's not much better. To dreams attention they don't pay, they live them for that matter. People they patiently regard, for in their long lives of centuries they might remember at some point being once contemporaries. Thinking that only they do shine, people lose sight of what they want. Rich, powerful, and mighty fine, to be forever is their want. Not everything that's dear to man is also to our Lord, and in the long passage of time even the good changes mold. Help all the creatures that don't speak, even if they're so many, and to you mute they do appear, teach them to you to listen. Have them forever in your care, without them life's all flat, for they much love give unto you, in their gaze you can see that. A plant at first try to support, an animal to raise next, then all you'll start to value. Have care that all of them can have the food and water needed, and then for you there is hope too. Ask God, and He will grant it.